Welcome back to the 11 podcast. I'm Josh. This is Nat.
What's up, everybody? We
What's
missed
up?
you guys. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it feels like we've been on a break.
I guess it's safe to say that
Yeah.
is the case.
hmm
All right. Well, the last time we talked, it was before Christmas. We've had December, we've had January. You're in second semester. What's going on? Give us
Yeah.
an update.
Well, of course, I'm just immersed in all things school and running and just getting prepped for track season, especially. We have a race in about a month, and I've been having some tough workouts, but it's been super fun overall.
Man, that's so cool. Like, do you feel that you are adjusted to living on your own and being in the dorm and just training in academics?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel academically, I feel way better this semester than last semester. I feel way more adjusted. And in terms of living on my own, I feel like I adapted to that pretty quickly, much faster than I thought I would. I thought I would just be like, and like homesick all the time, but my roommates and slash teammates are so fun. So it feels like I'm at home.
Yeah, every time I talk to you, it sounds like you're having a blast,
Oh
which
yeah.
makes me feel good. And yeah, all right. Well, okay, you said you've been having some hard workouts. You're getting ready for track season. We
Yeah.
want to know what have the hard workouts? Give us an example.
Okay. So just for some context, this track season, I'm really focusing on the 800 and the 1500 after having, I would say, a bit of success with it last year, running 156, which is pretty fast for me because I've never really focused on the 800 before. I decided I want to really attack it again in college. So yesterday, Friday, I had a workout. It was two times broken 700. So that just means the first rep is 400 really fast. And then you do a minute rest. And then you have 300 really fast. Like the 400 was like 54 seconds for the first one. And then it's like 800 pace. And then the second rep, the 300 was like 43, 44-ish. So fast 300 with little rest. Then you take an 8 minute rest. So we do a jog and then we stand around and then it starts over. So the second rep is the same thing. Fast 400. It was a little slower because obviously the body's tired. So 56 was like the first 400 minute rest. Second 300 was like 45-ish. And then we had a big rest, probably like 10 plus minutes and then one more fast 400, which I did maybe around like 55-ish because I had more rest. But yeah, that was a workout.
Nice. And what does your warm up look like? Do you warm up? Do you do drills and strides? What does it look like?
hmm It's pretty simple, just 2 mile warm up with the guys, and then we do our own drills and strides. And the first few strides I did were just in my trainers, and then the second couple strides were like off the curve, like in my spikes. The whole workout was in spikes. That was one of the first workouts I've done where the whole thing is in spikes. So yeah, it was really fun.
How did that feel getting back into spikes and being
Yeah,
comfortable?
I honestly thought that today, especially on the long run, my legs would feel super sore, like especially my calves and maybe even the Achilles, but everything felt super smooth and yeah, I adjusted to it pretty quickly. So I'm glad. I'm happy about that.
And you had a long
Yeah.
run today. How many miles did you guys run today?
It was a down week, so I usually do 14, but today I did 12. We were just out on the canal at CBU, if you know where that is. And yeah, just a quick out and back. It was fun.
A quick out and back. So I want to know, I'm sure
Yeah,
everyone
yeah, yeah.
wants to know, what does your long run pace, what does it look
Oh,
like?
yeah. I mean, we have workouts on Tuesdays and Fridays, so when we do the Saturday long run, it's after a workout. So usually I start it pretty slowly. Today I felt good, like way better than I thought. So it was probably like in the mid sixes, I would say, something like that. And then on the way back, it's like downhill, so it's probably faster than that. But usually it's pretty conservative. We're trying to recover. So yeah.
When you're running with the team on a long run, is it conversational at all? Are you guys chatting or is it just nose to the grindstone?
No, it's very conversational, very chatty. Like some people have like speakers in their hands, like blasting music. Like it's a very like relaxed vibe. So it's very fun.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
And are
yeah.
the coaches out there on their bikes, or are they just like
Hmm.
to see you when you get back?
Yeah, Coach Smith is usually out on his bike, and then Coach Steph today was like running. Sometimes she's on the bike, and then Coach Zach, like he wasn't out there. At least I didn't see him, but sometimes he's out on the bike. They have like waters for us, which is nice. So yeah,
Oh, that is so nice.
yeah,
That's very
yeah. It
cool.
was
Uh,
very cool.
and then how has your recovery been going? Like, how do you tell us how you recover after a long run?
Yeah, so after a long run, I really make sure to get food into the body as quick as possible. So coach has usually he'll have like chocolate milk. Well, pretty much every time he has chocolate milk, which like I don't know, maybe it's unconventional, but it's like really good and it gives like quick sugar and carbs into the body and it tastes great. And then we'll walk over to the ADC calf and then we'll eat food. I usually don't eat too much, but I want to make sure to give the body what it needs, just like fruit, like proteins, like maybe some rice, some chicken, like whatever they're serving, and then plenty of water. And then obviously I prioritize stretching, use Normatec boots if I can find them laying around in the dorm. Maybe somebody has some open and yeah, sleep. Sleep is very important. I'll probably take a nap soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you prioritize, especially on the weekend, getting in a nap? Like, is it something that you schedule in?
Honestly, no, I don't really nap that much, but today I've been like super, super tired because after Friday's workout, which was so intense on the legs, and obviously I'm not used to it fully yet, I have to sleep.
Are those
Yeah.
Normatec boots in the background?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are, yeah. I didn't even realize. Yeah,
I
they're right
love
there.
it.
Yeah,
They're
they're
ready
one of
to
my
go,
secrets.
ready to be
Hmm.
fired up. When you do
Exactly.
a long run workout on Friday, obviously you have, well, not obviously, maybe you don't have classes. Do you have classes on a Friday?
Hmm. I have classes every day. So the nice thing is like with the like student athletic advisors, when we're picking classes, they really do a good job of making sure that they're not too early in the morning. So that way, when we have class, we don't have to wait, or we can wait a little bit longer. It's not like such a quick turnaround. So I think on Friday, my first class was like, I don't even know, like noon or something like that. Yeah, it was like
Oh,
noon. Yeah.
oh,
So there's
that's
like plenty of time to like shower up and all that. Yeah. Yeah, it
oh,
was
that's
very nice.
so good. So you can go prep for a long workout, get it
Hmm.
done, and then refuel, rest a little bit, shower, and then leisurely go to class.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way better than high school because in high school when we have like 7:15 workouts on the once in a blue moon, it was such a quick turnaround. Class was at 8:30. So, yeah. And then obviously I didn't even use the showers because I didn't really want to use them. It was like one communal shower. So I was just sweaty and like I was just wipe off with some towels. Like it was like
I
this
was
is way
always
better.
asking you about that. I was
I
like,
would
I
never
can't believe you
shower.
guys did this hard workout and then you went to class
I
all
would
day.
I would just rinse my face off in the bathroom and like wipe myself down with like paper towels. Like I didn't shower. Yeah, I
Oh
can't believe I'm
well.
saying this. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about this month. One, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Of course.
I'm super, yeah, excited about just celebrating the month and all that it means and Black Americans' contributions in American culture. So that's super cool.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be going to your high school next week with Megan to
Oh
celebrate
yeah, yeah.
with our
The
annual
food
party.
festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What are you cooking? What are you cooking?
I don't know yet.
Okay, let me
I
know.
need to prep, so
Okay,
I will take any ideas.
cool.
So there's that, and then we also have more news. You and
Oh.
I, we've
Oh
officially,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Do
Say it, say it, say it,
you
say
want
it.
to
No, you
tell or
say
you
it.
want me to tell?
No, you say it, you say it.
Okay, we're officially signed up for Grandma's Marathon for a three-peat.
3 feet.
Three-peat. I can't even like
That's
digest that.
wild.
Three times in a
Three
row.
times in a
So
row.
it'll be 2024, 2025, and now 2026, which is third times that
Exactly.
we're gonna we're gonna
We're
destroy it.
gonna kill it. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna kill it.
Uh-huh.
So that's been what's been going on this end, on my end, just
Hmm.
prepping base building for grandmas and just it's really been interesting because I've been able to go back and look at like the journaling and the notes that I took last year this time and just
Hmm.
all the chaos and upending that our life was going through and how the training was going and there was like a lot of like gaps in missed days of running or little runs. Like I'd miss a few days and then run like 2 miles and then miss some days and run 3 miles. And already my training is so much more consistent and
Oh yeah.
bulkier. So I'm definitely like being encouraged by looking back what I've done and wanting to improve upon that in a huge way. So that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Super
Um,
excited.
so today's Saturday, February 7th, that we're recording this. So it's 19 weeks today until Grand
Hmm.
Marathon because it's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll be base building for a while before we get into marathon specific stuff. Yeah, I had a workout this week. I did mile repeats.
Oh yeah. Tell us about it. Tell us about it real quick.
Okay, so I was pretty nervous about it. I feel like my hard workouts have not been as consistent as yours. They've been a little sporadic.
Hmm.
And so I hadn't done a long hard workout in a while and I was feeling a little shaky like I know I'm going to do it, but what is it going to look like? How am I going to feel?
Hmm.
And at first like during the warm up, I wasn't really feeling it. And so I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And it was funny too because I did it in the morning, but then suddenly something came up and I was under a tight deadline. And so there was
Mm.
actually a moment where I was thinking to myself, do I postpone this long workout? Am I gonna have enough time to finish everything? Because I don't want to like get into it and then I can't finish it. But
Hmm.
then I was able to make the decision that I was going to go for it and finish it. But when you have that like window of time, that time crunch under you, there's not a lot of time to overthink the
Oh yeah. Yeah.
workout.
Yeah.
You just got to be
Totally. You just
like,
got to do it. Yeah.
you got to do it. So anyway, so yeah, so 4 times 1 mile with a 1 mile rest, and then 5 times 10-second hill repeats, and then a warm up, cool down, and then I had strides before the workout.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool.
So it went well. I think the one thing I always feel a little intimidated about mile repeats. I
Hmm.
feel like it's longer than, like a 2 minute interval or even 3 or 4 minute interval. It's mile repeats. You kind of like you're committed. You're in it. Like it starts
Totally.
to hurt and you're like you have to finish it and then you have to do it 3 more times after that. So it's pretty legit workout, but it went well. And I think the one thing that I want to say, you have this feeling like you know where you want to be pace wise
Hmm.
eventually at the end of this whole training block, but you have to meet your body where it is right now. And so I got humbled a lot because I'm just not where I want to be, but that's okay. I'm meeting my body where it is fitness wise today. And in that sense, it's going to be interesting to watch myself get fitter over the weeks and months.
Oh yeah. 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 That's super exciting. Super exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was when you said with strides, like I was thinking, how far do you do your strides before workouts? Because we've been doing a lot of like 200-meter strides after runs, and then we did sometimes I'll do like a 100-meter stride before a workout.
Yeah, good question. So Jared, my coach, has me traditionally I will do like 3 or 4 times 100-meter strides before a workout, but sometimes in the weeks of my training, he'll have me do 200-meter strides.
Mm,
So it's interesting that you said that
yeah,
because I'm definitely familiar with 200-meter strides.
yeah.
I like
And I,
them.
yeah, and I feel like this is a great segue into the main topic, which is mileage and how people structure it and what works for certain people.
Yeah, to be specific, we're going to talk about today high mileage versus speed, which
Hmm.
is better.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, and also while we were prepping, the way we're gonna lay it out is we're gonna have like two different runners, for example, like two different scenarios. So first we're gonna talk about if you're a shorter, like middle distance runner, how that's gonna work mileage wise, if you're doing high mileage or shorter mileage. And then we'll do someone who's longer distance, say maybe in the marathon, high mileage versus shorter mileage, more geared towards speed, what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this topic. There's a lot to dig into. So, Josh, you go first,
Okay.
and you go into the scenario of your runner. Lay it out for us what their what their event is,
Hmm.
and all the details on how they should approach their training, possibly.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna say this runner is modeled a little after me. So let's say you're 800 meter slash 1500 meter runner. That's your main focus. The way that I would approach the mileage would be not super high mileage because the way the way you're going to be hitting the workouts and the intensity, like something that I did yesterday with the broken 700s, that's a lot of stimulus on the body. So you want to keep the mileage. For me, for example, I'm keeping the mileage at 70 miles a week max. And then on the down weeks, every 3 weeks, I'm coming down to 60 miles a week. So keeping it in the 65 to 70 mile range, if you're doing cross country as well, like me, you still want to be, aerobically fit. You want to have that speed endurance developed. So keeping it in that range, I feel like is a great way to have it, especially if you're doing cross. I know some people, like my teammate Josh, he keeps mileage down all the way to 50 miles a week. He also does 800 slash 1500. And in cross season, he has it at 60. So it really depends who you are as a runner and how your body reacts to stimuli. Some people need less, some people need a little bit more. But in a general range, I would say 50 to 70 miles a week would be great if you're an 800, 1500 meter runner who also runs cross. Now, maybe some people who focus specifically on the 800 is probably less, maybe 40 miles a week. But yeah, for that scenario, we're going to say 50 to 70 miles a week. All right, you want to get into your
Yes,
runner?
I do, but I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you specifically feel like you are a high mileage runner or a low mileage, and why? What makes you feel comfortable in your fitness?
Hmm. I would definitely say I'm not a high mileage person. Also, one, it's because of my age. Like I'm only a freshman, so if I built it up, maybe I could get up to 90 miles a week, 95, who knows, by senior year, if we're going off of my current trajectory. But I don't know how high I'm going to get with mileage. I feel like some people are really great about doing the run, then doing the double and breaking it up. But I found for me, I really just like doing one run that's just completely one run. So when I do 70 miles a week, I'll do 11 miles Monday through Friday, and then I'll do a 14-mile long run on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll do 1 mile, which I'm not saying this is the best to do, but this is what I did. I did 1 mile on Sunday just to flush the body out, and then I would rest the rest of the day. Someone like my coach would say, "Hey, Josh, let's do it where you do 8 miles and then a four double most of the day. So you're getting 12 miles on the day, front loading the week, still do the 14-mile long run, and then you have Sunday completely off." Because one of the philosophies or ideas, it's rooted in science, is that coach was saying this, you want at least 30 minutes of stimuli in order to give the body exactly what it needs. Otherwise, there's really no point in running just 1 mile. You might as well at that point just sit around and do nothing and recover. Doing 1 mile isn't going to benefit your body that much. So, where was I even going with this? I feel like I'm
No,
going off on a
no,
tangent.
I
I
know
hope
this.
this is great
Oh
input.
my gosh, I am eating this up.
Okay,
Like as a coach and as a runner, I think this is all so beneficial. Keep going.
okay. All that to say, I feel like that I enjoy the double. I really do. But just in my personal preference, I love it when I can go out, say, I'm going to run 11 miles and then do that Monday through Friday. And if I only get to 69, well, because, if I'm following coach's advice, you might as well just do nothing if you're only going to run 1 mile. If I only get to 69, I'm cool. But what I've noticed is that as you get higher into the mileage, you know, going from 70 to 80 to 90, you're going to have to double. Most people can't run 15, 16 miles, for example, all in one shot, nor is that great for the body. So you're at some point you're going to have to double. Past 70 miles, I would say you're going to have to double. And I feel like for my body, it's better to just do one run and then recover for the rest of the time. That's what worked really well for me in high school. And I would love to continue that. And so, for those reasons, I would say I'm more on the lower mileage side because once you get into those higher mileages, you start having to break runs up. And that's more of just a preference. I'm sure my body could handle it with adaptation. But because I'm more of a speed person anyway, I would say I'm more of a middle of the road kind of guy for mileage.
Okay, no, I love to hear that perspective and just a snapshot of what you're doing. How
Hmm.
do you incorporate, I mean, I guess that like speed and you have, I mean, that's a good amount of distance during the week. And
Hmm.
you're getting in, you said workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Tuesdays and Fridays is our,
Tuesdays,
our
Tuesdays
workout
and
days.
Fridays. Okay. So I mean, would you say you were consider yourself more on the lower volume mileage runner with a good amount of speed and intensity? Is that how you would classify yourself?
I would classify myself that way. We don't do a ton of speed and intensity. Like not every single workout is going to be like a broken 700 or a broken 800 or it's not all going to be middle distance specific. But I just feel like I feel for me, I'm more of a speed and power guy. I've probably said this to you before. With endurance, my endurance has developed over the years, but that's why I would cater myself. I feel like the middle distance events are better served for me.
And then what does your week look like in terms of strength, mobility, and
Hmm.
core?
So Mondays and Wednesdays, we're in the weight room and we're doing mobility first. So we have what's called movement prep, and that's where we're doing different exercises with fans or stuff on the wall, like different wall sit kind of things, or also on the ground. It's like astroturf, like indoors. So we're doing a lot of stuff just to get the body loosened up. And then for the lift, we're doing a ton of different stuff. We do squats. We rarely ever do bench press, not that we need to, but we're doing squats. We're doing split squats. We're doing RDLs. Sometimes we'll do arm curls, just full body workout usually, but focus more for the legs, obviously, because we're runners. And like I said, Monday and Wednesday. And then in terms of core, after the lift, we'll do core. And a lot of times there'll be a core element integrated into the lift anyway. And then I'm doing core on my own. And also, I prioritize stretching. That's always been a big thing for me, taking the time to get the body loose and all that.
Ah, Josh, I wish I was doing all of this when I was 18 years old.
Mm.
I feel like people make a big emphasis on, oh man, you have to do all that stuff as an older runner, as a master's runner, and you do. But if we could all learn how to do that in our earlier years, it's going to set us up for success down the road and just to have
Totally.
more longevity. So man, I'm so glad you're doing that. How do you feel like you because you haven't been have had no injuries for such a long time. And I'm
Hmm.
just like knock on wood and praying and all of that. Like that is fantastic. So what do
Yeah.
you think is the key to keeping you injury free right now?
Yeah. I feel like for me, the injuries that I've had, one with the back injury, that was freshman year. And obviously, it was because of the discs were out of alignment. And that's why I had to use the inversion table to get things straight, literally. But honestly, I feel at that age, I'm thinking it could have been growing very quickly all at once, could have contributed to that injury and things getting out of alignment. So that, and then also with the shin splint stuff, wearing Crocs and shoes support, like arch support, all that stuff. I wasn't really like doing the smartest things in terms of my footwear. So those things, one, I couldn't really control the back thing. I think it was just because of the age I was. And then number two, with the Crocs things, Crocs aren't for everyone. Get something that actually supports your feet. So then now that I know that and that's out of the way, there's not a whole lot that has been in my way in terms of injury things. So I would say the way that I'm staying healthy is prioritizing staying loose, staying strong, making sure the core is really strong when you're running is super important. I know that a lot of people have problems with hamstring stuff because there's imbalances in their glutes and they overcompensate one way or the other. So making sure everything is equally strong has been important. I spent a lot of time making sure that my quads are just as strong as my hamstrings, that are just as strong as my glutes, and that balance has kept me injury free as well. So I'd say those reasons.
Oh man, this is a wealth of gold. That
Absolutely.
is so cool that I mean, I know people are going to appreciate you sharing this and it does tie into, speed versus volume and like
Hmm.
how to balance it out and it's important to get both, but obviously you can't focus on both elements at the same time because that's just a recipe for disaster. So I think,
Yeah.
you've done a good job and your coaching staff, of course, overseeing you getting what you need, but not too much on
Yeah.
either end.
And I will say one more thing, one more thing.
Yeah.
I will say for me in the program that I'm in, distance is the focus, distance is what we do. Obviously, in cross, the men were running the 8K. We'll run like one 7K, but it's all 8Ks or 10Ks at nationals. And even on the track, most guys are running 5K, 10K, maybe some are running 1500. But there's really only two or three of us that are running 800, 1500. So obviously, most of the workouts that I'm doing, obviously in cross, all of them in cross and then in track, are going to be distance specific. So if you're someone like me who is in a program who's more distance specific, or you haven't really specialized yet, I would say that's where you would find yourself more on a higher mileage, 70 plus. But
Hmm.
then if you're someone who wants to specialize in the 800, let's say you say, I want to be an 800-meter runner, and that's it. Then I would say you don't need to do 70 miles a week. I would
Hmm.
say you can come down to 50, maybe 45, maybe even 40, if that's all you want to focus on. Because the compensation is that all of the stimulus that you're missing, those other 30 miles are going into like grinding your legs into the ground on the track. Like the amount of pain that I felt after the first rep of that broken 700 was like 30 miles worth of whatever I would have done on the road. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes
I think
sense.
that's the difference. I really do.
That's good stuff.
Hmm.
Well, okay, so conversely, I'm going to talk about speed versus volume from a long distance perspective.
Yeah.
The
Okay. Got it.
marathon specifically, even a little bit, you can dip into the half, but because that is what I quote unquote specialize in or want, have been focused on, and that is what my athletes that I coach focus on, I think that would be it'd be something good to talk about. So,
Hmm.
I like higher mileage. Now, that is for me personally as an athlete, and I'll go into like my coaching philosophy as well. I feel like it makes me feel more fit in the marathon. It makes me feel more prepared. It makes me feel stronger at mile 23, 24 when 24 and a half when you're there but you're not, you still have you have a ways to go to race but you're almost done, and it's time to grind. And so but if you are feeling fatigued and dead, and of course other things come into play, whether you've paced yourself, you've been intelligent about your racing strategy comes into play as well, but I just feel like I'm more prepared for the marathon with higher mileage.
Hmm.
And that's just my opinion for my training. I do feel like being very quick and doing the speed element is definitely good. You can't just go through and do a bunch of like long runs at a easy pace every single day and expect to get where you want to be if you have specific goals, like, for me. So I do think it's important. Like, for instance, an example of this week is I will aim to get to 60 miles this week, which is on the lower end, but I'm still base building right now and I don't want to get hurt and I'm just trying to be conservative. But, a lot of my easy runs are like 7.25 miles per day. And then my long run was like a 9 mile day. I'll have like a 13.5, 14 mile long run this week. And this is just all just stacking bricks, getting ready for the specific stuff of the marathon, which won't happen for some weeks now. And I just feel I do want to touch upon the whole cross training aspect. I think that a lot of runners shy away from cross training. They feel like
Mm,
that it's going to interfere with their training and not make them stronger because they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not running, I'm cross training." And it doesn't have to be just because you're dealing with an injury. As you are building up your mileage safely and avoiding injury and getting hurt and frustrated and all of those things, I absolutely think that it's great to incorporate cross training into your week until you can start to feel like you're making some headway, you're stacking some good weeks and months, and then can just focus on building more run mileage. So right now
mhm.
I'm not cross training. I'm not opposed to doing it as a second run or second workout. Instead of going on a run, maybe I'll jump on the elliptical as I start to build in some double days. But I love double days as well because I love higher mileage. But if I did do a double day, it would be like 30, 35 minutes, super easy.
Mhm.
Now, as far as like what I prescribe for my athletes, of course, it depends on their experience level, where they are, what their goals are. Um, I'm going to not give them high mileage unless we've been working together for a long time and they've worked up to that. I'm going to keep it pretty conservative. So it's fun. It's interesting to listen to your take on it as 1500 meter and cross country runner in college, which I know that's going to be different than a recreational runner.
Right,
If you're
right.
more on the professional side than not, but for the recreational runner, I have a lot of athletes that are in that 30 to 35 mile a week base building phase. Then
Mhm.
we're going to slowly move them up to the 40, 45 miles. And so for some people, the 45 mile might be the top end of their volume, weekly volume for the duration of their training cycle.
Mm,
And that's okay because maybe they don't have as much as experience, or we're building back from something, or they had a niggle or an injury, or it's just going to take more time. And I think that that's okay. And I definitely want to do that to make sure that they're healthy and then give them some space to do the hill repeats, to get in the mile repeats, to get in interval training and threshold work and all of those things that are going to be important for their training. So, I guess my answer is, or not necessarily an answer, but just laying it out. If you are a runner that's, specifically working on the marathon or the half marathon, I think it's important to be conservative as you are building. And then in your weekly mileage, focus on getting quick, doing those strides, doing those hill repeats, recovering really well, and then build your mileage over time.
mhm.
That's what I would
And
say.
and when you were speaking, I was listening to when you were saying hill repeats, mile repeats, etc. And one of the things I wanted to ask was, as someone who's running the marathon and those longer distances, what is considered high intensity? Because I know for me, even in cross running the 5K, higher intensity workouts would be fast stuff like 1Ks. So what does that look like for a marathoner?
I think if you're gonna be a fast marathoner, you have to incorporate some of those same type of workouts. Like Jared gave me 12 times 400.
Mm, yeah.
So I'm doing some of those same types of workouts and because we want to build in that top end speed. Like I need to get my 5K ta time down, my 10K time, and then my half marathon time down and focus on that because that's going to translate into making me a faster marathoner.
Hmm.
Uh,
And one more thing. Someone like me, if I know I did 14 by 400 a couple weeks ago, and that's as like an 8 1,500 meter guy. This was during the track season build. If I was a marathoner, would you, as a coach, would you say instead of doing 14, you're going to do 20? Like for the marathon, does the amount of reps usually go up?
oh, that's a good question. I think it depends on your experience level. I think it depends on what you have done in the past, where you are volume wise. I think I definitely wouldn't throw you, into the deep end and do 20 times a 400 if
Yeah, yeah.
that wasn't something that we had built up to. I think, like some of the people that I coach, I definitely, I might give them 6 times a 400 or 7 times a 400, and then you build up. Not this year.
It's over. I'm
It's
sorry. It's
over.
over.
It's
It's over.
over.
It's over.
But
It's
I
done.
think you build up over time and over years. And a lot of times people want success like relatively quickly. And like long distance running it's a long journey over years.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that. So,
Hmm.
but I would say, I guess to sum it up,
Yep.
if you are just building in your mileage and you're a lower mileage runner, like if you're doing like 25, 30 miles a week, let's get you comfortable doing that. Let's make sure that you're staying injury free. Let's add in some little bits of speed elements into that, and then let's just build over time. But I
Hmm.
do like to tell marathoners that I really like it when you come and we are 30, 35 miles a week as a base, just like, and then that's like your base, and then we can build into that mileage over time. So, and it
Yeah.
also too depends on like their schedule and what they want to do and their desires and their, all the things. It's a different when you're dealing with adults and their busy lives.
Oh, totally, totally. And I was thinking too, do you feel like as a coach, like from your experience, do you feel like there's a correlation between more mileage and faster marathon times? Because I know in the beginning you were saying you like the high mileage because when you're in the late stages of the race, you have you have that endurance. Do you feel like with your athletes, you've seen that the ones that have the higher mileage like finish better?
That's a good question. Not necessarily from like it every situation is different. One example that I can give you is I have one athlete who PR'd in their marathon. And
Hmm.
it was, so exciting to get it to grab a PR. That's always exciting. And then we were chatting, and it's like, how can we improve upon that? Or what are some of the things that we can do differently? And one of the things is having more long runs within your base building and your marathon specific phase. And like you can totally relate to this. You've been running 14-mile long runs every single week for such a long time. And
Hmm.
the difference is there's a lot of people that just start their long runs when the marathon specific training starts. And
Hmm.
it's not that it's too late. It's just like you're gonna have more success if you can stack upon those 12, 14-mile longer runs over a long period of time.
Hmm. I agree. When I was on my long run this morning, I was thinking this is one of the things that have made me stronger. I attribute that to my success. Being able to run efficiently. It doesn't always have to be super fast. But being able to maintain a steady heart rate and run efficiently over 12, 14 miles and then stacking that, it makes you a faster runner. It makes you stronger, it makes you more efficient, all of that.
One of the interesting things that I want to share is over this past fall season going into winter is Jared, my coach, was giving me and is giving me all of these medium long runs to do every single weekend. Now, over the fall, it was really hard. Like I wasn't doing them. Like I was watching you. We were talking like during summer. I would see you, and then when you went
Mhm.
to college, we were talking and all this stuff. And I was like, "Oh, how was your long run this weekend?" And you would always say like 14 miles. And I felt like I definitely was going through a struggle period where I just wasn't getting in those medium long runs every single week. So, I'm saying that to say that it's happened to me where I haven't done, 6, 7, 8 months of these continuously medium long runs. And I would say
Mhm.
that is like one of the things, one of the elements, if you're listening and you're trying to determine how to improve your running economy in the marathon and half marathon, I would specifically say stack those medium long runs every single weekend for a long period of time, well before you even get into the marathon specific stuff.
Definitely,
Um,
100%.
so that is, but and I feel like also too, if you're not doing that and you want to start a marathon training block, like don't beat yourself up. Just start from where you are, do what you can, and make it a priority every single weekend. So I'm doing that now, making it a priority like in the run up to this. Because my marathon training cycle will be about 13, 14 weeks. We don't do a super long marathon specific training just because I'm an experienced marathoner. We don't need to do an 18-week specific. So we
Yeah,
do like 13, 14, which is good because like we're 19 weeks out. So I have a good amount of time and I've been working on this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months. But more specifically in the last month, I've been really working on my base building. So I have a good lead up into when we get to that 13, 14 mile specific. So now I can really build upon those longer runs on the weekend.
right. Perfect, perfect. And for you, you already have the base. So, like you were saying, you don't need to do an extra 5 weeks or whatever it is to build that base. Now you do have the 19 weeks, right? So that's great.
I have the 19 weeks, and I have to say, I don't feel like I went into this even up to now, 19 weeks out. I don't feel like super confident. Like, yes, I am so fit. I just have to keep this going and then ease my way in. I'm definitely building fitness. And one of the things that I wanted to touch upon before we wrap this up is
Yeah.
I've really been focused, and we've talked about this, you and I, for a long time, but I'm really focusing on strength work and weights and the hex bar and RDLs
Oh
and
yeah.
curls and squats and wall sits and all that stuff. Because I know that that was missing a little bit in my previous training cycles, and I really believe that's going to make a huge difference.
100%. And you're spot on. And the last thing that I want to say too is you're talking about fitness. Fitness is really, in my experience, it's a cycle. I've learned that fitness is a cycle. People say it a lot, but I want to emphasize you can't be at your peak fitness 100% of the whole year. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's I'm in really good shape during cross, and then for the 2 week break, we come down. Like it's no running, it's recovery. And then even in the build up, it's your fitness is not where it is, but that's by design. And even right now, I feel like my fitness is probably 95%. And then prepping for this next race, it'll be at 100%. And then obviously we refine things throughout the season. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a rotating
it's a rotating, and
on all year.
you can't be 100%. And I purposely felt like after grandma's in 2025 that I was like, you can't be in peak shape all year round. So it's
Yeah,
take the
that's what I'm trying to say.
downtime. Now don't just completely let it go to
Right, right. Yeah, you can't do that either.
can't do that
Uh,
either. What am I gonna say? Okay. Oh, two things that I want to talk about that's super fun. It
okay.
is the start of the Winter Olympics. We watched the opening ceremonies last night.
Yep.
Cross country skiing was just on today, which I love. I love the Winter Olympics, so I'm super excited about that. Excited about Black History Month. I have the LA Marathon coming up that I'm going to be announcing for in
Crazy.
4 weeks because it's March
Yeah,
8th.
that's
So
literally 4 weeks in one day.
it's 4 weeks and one day away. So people training for LA Marathon, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'll be there, being your MC for the weekend. So
Hmm.
psyched about that. Um, Anything else you want to talk about on your end before we wrap it up?
Not really. I feel
Okay,
we covered so much. We covered so
I
much.
know we did. We did. Okay, you guys, we're gonna be back. Our schedule might be, I mean, we're gonna try to really be consistent, but it's also fitting in time when Josh has time to record with his busy
Right.
schedule and all of that. So we'll be back soon. Okay, here's how you can follow us. So
Hmm.
one thing I want to say is if you are looking for a running coach, if you are a distance runner, hit me up. I have some space available in my roster to take on new athletes. I'd love to hear from you. So let me know if you're interested in run coaching. How to follow us. You can follow me on any platform at Nat Runs Far.
Hmm. And you can follow Joshua Mitchell underscore XC on Instagram.
And are you going to talk about your alter ego Instagram?
So my alter ego account, Mitch Force One. You got to know me on a first name basis. So if you want to get to know me, slide into the DMs. Maybe you can get a follow, or or you can get the request approved,
Oh,
and
are
I'll follow
you?
you
Is
back.
it a private account?
Yeah, it's a private account.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
too
private
funny.
account. But hey, I'm just put it out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to get to know Josh on a deeper personal level.
Yeah, you can see what I'm really like.
There's so much we could talk about, but we're
Uh-huh.
not going to right now in the
Yeah.
state of a lot of things. So we're going to
Uh-huh.
wrap it up.
Maybe we'll do a bonus episode for. No, I'm
I
just
know. I
kidding.
think we do. I think we
Well,
need to
maybe I
do,
don't know.
yeah, another episode very soon. Yeah, you guys are amazing. No
Hmm.
pressure running. And I also just really believe that you can do nearly
Anything.
anything that you want to do if you put your mind to it and you just work consistently over a long period of time. So happy running this week. You guys
Happy Black
are
History
awesome.
Month.
Happy Black History Month for sure.
Uh-huh.
And have fun watching the Winter Olympics. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace out.
Peace out.